Welcome back to another one, guys. This is Jared from the future. I'm having to shoot an intro video because I forgot. Kind of feel like DJ No Way doing this, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. Before I get into anything, I just wanted to plug my merch. I just got these shirts back in stock. Also recently dropped a slap sticker. So if you like this content, please go check out my site. Go cop some merch. It's really gonna help with these future builds that I have in mind. It's gonna help speed them up, help me get parts in, what have you. I'm not pocketing any of this money. It's going straight back into my merchandise, making new shirts, stickers, banners, all that, and then hopefully soon going into these projects. So if you like this stuff, please go check it out. I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting your boy. So this video is gonna be really sporadic. I slacked off a lot. As you can tell, I'm 2 weeks behind on my upload, but I promise you I was recording. I was just so in depth in trying to get this car ready for NSS, I didn't even have time to try to edit one of these videos. But we made it, so stay tuned. This is gonna be a two-part video. First part's getting the car ready. Second part is finishing up and drifting. So I hope you enjoy it. Here's the video. So with all of this sand work, prep work to get the Miata painted, we have destroyed my garage. And I need to get it clean before I put this Miata in here. So my idea is to try to mop this. So I got a bucket, I got a mop, put some hot water in it, some soap. Let's see how it works. Let's see if we can get this place clean. Got the floor a little cleaner. It's definitely still dirty, but at least it got a lot of the dust up. Got the Miata in here, so hopefully it won't get as dusty. So the next thing we need to do to the Miata is get the hood off, the fenders off, and get this bay ready to be sprayed. We also need to get this motor on that stand and go through it to make sure there's no crazy leaks, and if there is, we need to fix it before it goes in this car. So let's get these parts off. Alright, so we got the fenders, the hood off. That was super stressful doing that by myself, but we got it done. Kind of have a method to getting that off by myself, so we're good there. So like always, I've changed my mind on how I'm going to do something. If you give me enough time, I will always change my mind. I think way too much. The plan now, and I'll give you the reason why. So I had Cody spray all this with black sealer. We threw some color on it, and then it got a little bit of clear overspray as we sprayed everything else. And it looks good. So my plan with this is to mainly get color and clear on the top side of the shelf, but get black sealer and color dusted on down here. Well, sealer on and then the color dusted, clear dusted. And to do that, I would like to just go ahead, remove all of this, get it out of my way, make this as easy as possible to spray, and that's not hard to get out anyway. So let's get this subframe out, get this thing jacked up in the air, get all these lines out of the way, get this taped up, and I'll start spraying. So since I've been working on my car, getting paint and everything, we haven't been able to follow David and his SR20. I'm going with a stock S14 SR20, put it in, just got it running, so I figured we'd show that. Woo! Sounds cool. So we got that out, got it on a little roller, makes it a little bit easier to move around. I also dropped the brake lines. So next thing, we're not going to need this anymore. This is usually holds a little mid pipe for the radiator hose because it's 2-piece NA, but I run an MB hose, so we don't need this anymore. To remove it, there's 3 spot welds, which I can feel them. You can't see them, I don't think. There's one here, there, and there. So you need to get those drilled out and then get this thing off. Let's get that. got that little bracket off. So next we need to cut a clearance here for my turbo. We've got to cut a clearance here for my downpipe. And then there's one more, I think, right here for my cooler lines, my oil cooler lines. So hopefully my measurements are right and we can cut this, paint it, engine sits in, everything works. So let's go. So I'm gonna go ahead, weld this up, just be safe. Just in case I took some structure that needs to be there. So let's get to it. So we've got this all welded up, grind it down. I also did it over here. But I left this one alone. I think I did a good cut. It's also got this big section that I think is pretty enforced, so I'll leave that alone. It looks pretty clean. I don't want to mess it up in my welds and grinding and whatnot. But again, I think these turned out pretty good. Definitely looks a lot better than when I did it on the black car. Well, I decided to weld it anyways. So, got it welded. Now we're going to grind it. And we're all grinded down. Turned out pretty good like the other side. So that definitely turned out a lot better than what I did with my black car. I wish I took more detailed videos because I did a pretty good hack job on it. So feel a lot better about that. There's a couple more things that I want to sand down, make sure it's good to go. I want to prime a couple spots and then get this thing taped up, and then we should be good to spray. So we got the back side of the car wrapped, got all these important parts wrapped, got my primer mixed. I touched up this back section as much as I could, make sure the seam sealer wouldn't come off. I try to get back in that corner. Same over there. Got cleaned up enough, covered up what needs to be covered up, and we're just gonna prime as much as we can because we are finally out of primer. So I'm just gonna unload on this bay, get it all one color, and then we'll shoot color tomorrow. So let's get this covered with primer. So we got it all primered. Also went ahead and scuffed everything. Also blew out these frame rails because I noticed I was getting a lot of trash in my primer. There was a lot of crap in here. So if you ever paint a bay, do that. Blew this one out too, which actually has a bigger hole. So a bunch of crap came out of here. So I think we should be good with trash, hopefully. Also, I'm really glad I covered this stuff up too. I mean, I get overspray all over the place. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's kind of like that muggy color on there. Oh, I also got to spray the undersides of these. Forgot to do that. So I got those taped off. Hopefully I did a good job. I triple checked this to make sure it doesn't bleed over into my nice paint job. So I'm just going to be really careful when I'm right here. I forgot to do the trunk, so we'll have to do that one day. They're still white, but oh well. So I think we are finally ready to put color on this, so let's go ahead, let's get to it. So I got water for this time. I'm going to wet this whole area. Hopefully that'll keep the overspray down and also keep trash out of here, hopefully. Also got pretty hot in here. It's cold today, so I've been letting the heater cook. So let's get some sealer mixed up, get this thing all black and ready for the color. And there you have it. The bay is finally painted. and holy crap, does it look good. I can't stop staring at it. Man, that engine over there is going to look like dog in this bay. But I say for a garage paint job, I think I did pretty good. I also did not forget the hinges this time. I almost forgot to clear them, so that would have been bad, but it had color on it, so it wouldn't have been as bad. But I got them cleared, even tried to do the back side. Why not? Also clear this whole front. I cleared the rails, the bottom under the shelf. I think it looks good. I put a lot of clear. I did 3 coats of clear, so this stuff should be pretty durable, hopefully, from scratches and stuff once it fully cures. To say I'm excited would be an understatement. This is sick. And me doing it myself, man, it's just so rewarding once you lay that clear on. Man. And I think I did better with the trash on like the hood. I learned from Cody that you can sand trash before you do clear. So I did that on the sealer. I didn't have any more trash. I did color. There was trash. I didn't have any big trash. I was really worried about having trash here. Spots where like your eye's gonna really grab once everything's in here. So I wanted to make sure this and this was good to go. I did end up getting some hairs in here, but yeah, I mean, you can't prevent it in here. This I think was an awesome idea. My feet did get wet, my legs got wet, but oh well. While we let that cure, I want to move on to the motor. It is disgusting. While we've been sanding, prepping that, Bondo, everything, it's gotten a layer of disgustingness on it. Also, it's disgusting from just me in general. From last year's season, I've had an incident where I ran without this on there. Oil got everywhere. Had a power steering incident, so that's why all of this is just covered. So I want to get this pressure washed, get it cleaned up so it doesn't look as bad in there. So the bay has finally cured. Got all the plastic wrap off of it. Now we need to start putting this thing back together. First I need to get these lines hung back up. Get that back in there. And then we can start pulling everything back into the engine bay, put the doors together, and get this car back to normal. And hopefully we can get it running. We now have about a week until the drift event, so let's get to it. It's gonna be some long nights this weekend. So let's get the subframe in there. Got it in, easy peasy. Got those lines started to run, got it mounted. To mount this, I need this guy ready to go, but it is disgusting. As you can see, it's already started trying to prep it. I'm sure these things are probably like $100, so I haven't looked yet to see if it's even worth trying to save this one. But I was trying to sand it down, maybe spray some paint on it. I got some flat black paint that looks really good, so we're gonna see what I can do with this. Maybe I should see how much one of these are. It might just be worth buying one, so let's see what I can do with it. So it's $150 for one of these plus tax, and the O'Reilly's hub, which is right down the road, doesn't even have one. So got it sanded down, got it primed with this, and then I got some flat black that I'm going to spray on it after this dries. So let's see how it turns out. Turned out pretty good. Also did this bracket as well. And after I got that installed, I also pulled the wires through on both sides. And as you can see, trying to protect my pretty paint job. I got my first scratch on the actual car. I think it's not bad, hopefully. I was just being reckless with this when I was taking it out. Flung it over and scratched it. So after that, I pulled that out, laid it in here, and I'm going to try my best to protect this. But there's only so much you can do. So also, if you notice, the camera looks a little bit different. I switched back to the regular factory GoPro screen. I think I might be done with this. I think I scratched this lens again. I could see little white dots up here when I was facing me and talking from the lights. So I think it's just time to retire this. I don't really get much benefit out of it really. So we got that pulled through. I need to start routing these lines, get the clutch master in, and just start throwing everything back in. I don't know how much I'm going to show of me doing this, but let's get to it. So I finally got a nice day to get this pressure washed. Of course, we got Mr. Orion out here. I had to wait for a gun for this. If you buy this machine, just go ahead and throw that out there. This thing's awesome. I bought it when I first got that car and got ceramic coated. It's done well, but the other day this gun failed and it started squirting water out of the trigger. So I bought a new gun. I got this gun off Amazon, and the funny thing is, in the reviews, turns out someone had that exact same pressure washer and the exact same issue happened with them. So if you get that pressure washer, just go ahead and expect that gun to break. Let's move on to getting this engine washed and hopefully not get any water in important spots and get all cleaned up so it'll look good in the bay. So let's get to it. So I got the engine all pressure washed. Came out pretty good. I got this area, which was probably the most disgusting since I had all the oil problems. And I used this, just some cheap oven cleaner from Dollar General. Let it set for like 5 to 10 minutes, pressure washed it off, did it again, and came out pretty good. I wasn't expecting like night or day difference. I just wanted to get all the crud off it really. My plan later on is to get some ports welded on here, get a catch can done in the bay, get this powder coated. But for now, this should do. It's gonna look like crap inside this new engine bay, but whatever. For now, I think it'll be fine. I need to just get this car on the road so we can start drifting, because that's the main goal of this car. It's not a show car, so I mean, if the hood's up on this car at an event, that's not good. So let's move on. What my plan is next is I need to start getting this routed on both sides, get brackets in here, get all of that ready to go, and then hopefully get that motor in here by the end of the night. So let's get to that. Well, I went to go grab the transmission to get it ready to put on the motor. Noticed that it was disgusting. So before we start on the wiring in there, I sprayed all that oven cleaner on this too, and I'm about to pressure wash it. So let's see how good this one comes out. Orion, he messed up my transition. So we got this thing so much cleaner. Holy crap, this thing was disgusting. But I didn't scrub or anything. I probably could get it a little bit cleaner, but I just don't want to spend time on it. But it should be a lot easier to handle now. So now let's get in there, get this wiring harness cleaned up and ready to mate these two together and throw it in the bay. Let's do it. So this is where I'm in the night. I've got this side pretty much ran. Got this side pretty much ran. I forgot that a lot of wires over here were showing bare, and I had to fix that temporarily. So I don't have time to unsheath all this and fix it properly. I did a temporary fix. Should hold up. Hopefully this thing doesn't catch fire, but I do have a fire extinguisher if it does, but we should be good. I plan to redo this harness on the off season, so this winter. This should hold up for now. But it is Sunday night. I've got a window guy coming tomorrow when I get off work, so we should have a window in. And then the plan for tomorrow is to get this puppy mated with that guy, get the clutch back on here. I don't think this is leaking. I'm pretty sure my leak that I was seeing was from this right there. I don't think I tied that down all the way when I pulled the motor. So no big worries. I think I did the rear main right, hopefully. So tomorrow, this should be a windshield right here. I'll see you tomorrow. The windshield guy just left. He did a really good job. Also like the seal he used. I asked him if he could do that for the rear. He told me that he'd have to take this off and there's a chance of breaking it. So I don't know where to get a new one of these just in case that happens. So we'll just leave it for now. Maybe look into it after the season ends. It's not that bad, so whatever. So now let's throw the clutch and flywheel on that, mate these two together, and get it ready to drop in. Got the transmission all bolted up. Got the motor mounts put on, torqued down. I got my oil feed line on. Makes it easier while it's out of the car. Can't think of anything else. Oh, I put the starter on too. I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. I've sit here and stared at this long enough that I think I've got everything, and if not, well, oh well. So let's get it in there.
Okay, I came here repping, he didn't record me. What are you doing?